Hey guys, it's Kate and hope you're having a good day. I'm here with a quick watercolor and doodle abstract painting using my Marie's Masters palette and my Fluid 100 small paper block. So this is 100% cotton paper. I've been enjoying just experimenting with it a little bit, and I just wanted to do something fun and a nice little watercolor exercise today. So I broke into my palette and I'm going to start out by just putting some shapes onto my paper, and I'm going to try to mix them up a little bit between some more saturated colors and some more neutral colors and just kind of let them flow together. I've got my block propped up just a little bit on that little book underneath. It's a little notepad, and so that way my color can all flow downward. And I'm just letting my colors mix, getting some nice rich gray tones and blues and purples and even going into the burnt sienna and just letting it all go together. And I have this at about 2 times speed today, just so that it doesn't last forever while we have some fun. So I hope that you're getting out your watercolors too and painting along with me today. And I'm also just really loving these watercolors. They've been a real pleasure to use, and I added some new colors to the palette, and I've been playing around with them too. And the paper is pretty good also. I really like the Fluid 100, but I have noticed that it's very hard to lift color after it dries. So if you paint and do a lot of lifting, this might not be the paper for you. But I really love these grays and browns I'm getting. And I'm just covering up my paper with some random shapes and then letting them touch and flow into each other. So I'm going over some of them again. It's not quite dry, but I'm getting a little bit of a glazing effect there. It's very transparent, and I'm doing some overlay and just getting a lot of shapes in there. Just kind of figuring out where I want my last ones to go and using up the last of that blue on my palette. And then once that dries, I'm going to come back in with a single color and glaze over everything with some much larger shapes that I want to kind of come front and center. So I'm using that really pretty rose color, and I don't have it on hand, but it's one of the extras that came outside of the 12 color set. And I'm just making some circles and squares there, well, rectangles. And I want that to be the main color in my little abstract. And just letting it blend together like before. And I like that you can still see some of the shapes behind it. It's still transparent. And one of the nice things about this Fluid 100 paper is that it's really nice for glazing because the colors underneath really won't move. So they stay pretty crisp. So with this one today, I am going to do some doodling with my Jelly Roll white pen, and I'm also going to get out some Posca pens. So I ended up turning the large circle into a flower, and then I will kind of trace around and make the little petals on the outside, and then go from there as I kind of get the feel for the paper. And love-hate relationship with these pens. Sometimes they don't like to write on the watercolor paper. I don't know why, but sometimes. I always have good luck over acrylic, maybe because it's a smoother surface, I'm not sure. So I start kind of coloring in my petals to make them contrast more with the background and just bring more attention to that shape. And I'll finish that up and add some more shapes to this. And as I'm going, I'm just kind of looking at it and seeing what I want to add next and how I like how it looks. And I decide to add some circles there, kind of like bubbles or something like that in random sizes, coming up the side of the page. And then I will color some of those in with the pen. And you can see that pen is really juicy. And the parts where it's darker, you can really see it well, and then it kind of blends in with the white background or the lighter areas, and there's less contrast. So then I got out my pink Posca pen, and these watercolor papers are thirsty, so it kind of soaks right in, but you can still see it. And I do 2 more flowers kind of in the background with the pink. But I wanted to get some more contrast in there, so I ended up grabbing a darker color Posca marker that's closer to the color that I painted the circles, and I'm going to do some nice contrast on those petals. And I'm just following along where I painted originally. Or I guess colored originally. These exercises are just great. They're very relaxing and therapeutic, and I hope that you give them a try. It doesn't really matter what you even make. Just play around with the doodles and have some fun. It's great to do before you start another painting, or just to get some practice using your supplies, especially if they're new and something that you're trying. And it's just something cute and whimsical that you can keep. So I'm going to finish up these petals here and then start in on the circles. And just adding some extra lines and marks. I started doing some dots, but then I decided, no, that's not going to be what I do today. And then I do some smaller petals on the larger white dots, almost like they're far away in the background. And it's just sort of like a space landscape of doodle flowers. And I'm not being careful with these. I'm just kind of adding some squiggly lines to the outside just to kind of look a little bit like petals that are similar to the ones in front. And then I decided to add a couple more into that other corner. That way it would be a bit of a continuation of the pattern. And then some more white dots too. And I don't surround all of them. I ended up keeping a few of the white dots just the way they were. And then we're going to call it done. So I'll do a close-up zoom in so you can see everything finished and see the watercolor and how it blended on the paper. And this was a lot of fun, so I hope you do one for yourself. And until next time, keep creating.